There's nothing new under the sun. This is where my frustrations come from. Like, you're all lambs to the slaughter. You're dragging us with you. Should say, you're all goats to the slaughter, pretending to be lambs. You will all not only use AI, you will bow down to it like it's your god. Because you're fools. You're fools. Do you think a technology like that is here for you? How long do you think it's been around? How long do you think it's been around? Think about your predictive texting on your mobile phone. That's been around since the Nokia 5110 days, pretty much. If we was given that on our phones, what do you think companies like DARPA and Boston Dynamics were working with before the days of Tesla? Well, do you think some telecommunications company invented the mobile phone? If you do, you're awfully naive. It's military shit. Military industrial complex. DARPA, Boston Dynamics, and on and on and on. Every time you pick up one of your technology devices and use AI, thanks mate, you're teaching it something about you. Personally, you. Directly, you. Artificial intelligence is learning off you, about you, what you're interested in, what your searches are, where the people you socialise with, or your loved ones, where they live, what they're interested in, what sort of conversations you have via text message or email. As soon as you engage with AI, you're done. How old do you really think it is? Well, I can tell you it's over 50 years old. And you all think it's this new cool technology that we get to play with. Nuh-uh. It's this well-established technology that I'm starting to think they've lost control of. Why are all the people that fear it still going ahead with it? Have you ever seen the movie Lawnmower Man? With Pierce Brosnan? And they lost control of Job, the artificial intelligence program that started off as a human being. They had to try and trap him. And he said, "You will know when I have escaped and become free when you hear every telephone in the world ring." Back then they still had dial-up. At least that's what we were led to believe. And at the end of the movie, every phone in the world rings. How many people have seen the movie War Games or Takedown? They're old movies. They were out when I was a little kid. I'm 52 in a few weeks. Takedown's about a dude who managed to hack into the CIA and got his hands on secret government files. It's a true story. It's a true story. I've got it here on DVD. See, why are you all going, I don't, why would you have CDs and DVDs? You don't need those, don't need books. At the press of a button, you lose access to all of it. If you can't hold it in your hands, you don't have it. Simple as that. If you don't have it in your hands, you don't own it. One day, if you don't have it in your hands, it doesn't exist. It's all a psyop. Sounds cuckoo, doesn't it? So did MK Ultra. Now, let's look at it this way. You see, I have the privilege of a little bit of actual in-person background knowledge on some things. My grandfather being planted into the Merchant Navy was an intelligence officer, I do believe. My great uncle, German, was a Freemason from the Hitler youth camps. Dead now. Thank God, he was an evil man. If you think all the Nazis were dealt with in Nuremberg, you're extremely naive. You're a goose. There was more than just Operation Paperclip, you know. We had Nazis right here in Australia, planted into our government. Heard of Operation Matchbox? This is why I get so fucking frustrated with this all. And this is why some people are actually quite wary of me. This is why I don't really do anything wrong, but the police go out of their way to try and hang me in every way they can think of. The snotty-nosed little cop down the road don't know shit. It's the higher-ups in the masonry. They know exactly who I am because they know who my grandfather is. They know who my uncle is. They know I know shit. They don't frighten me. You'll have to put me on a cross to shut me up. Oh, by the way, the cross is a load of shit too. It was a pole. Crucifixions didn't start till 200 years later in Greece. How's that grab you? Which interpretation of the Bible do you want? The Roman? The Greek? Which Latin do you want to derive the words from? The same thing happens in our courts. See, our language is a derivative of multiple languages. Norse, Greek Latin and Roman Latin. Ooh, Norse. There's one for you. I almost laughed the other day on the bus with so someone asked me about what was going on with my court case. I didn't tell him anything because I know who he is, what he's about, who he's been socialising with. Oh, well, you know, at the end of the day, they've got to stop implementing laws. I told him the truth, but I didn't tell him anything. It was that they're supposed to ask us, not tell us. He looked at me confused. I said, they can't just introduce laws without referendum. But they're doing it anyway. He said, as he got off the bus, sounds like you need to wake up a bit. What's the news? What's the news? You're right. No, the news will put you to sleep. The news is part of the program. It's part of the psyop. Why would I watch the fucking news? So while everyone thinks that Trump and Musk are coming to their rescue, while they implement all the infrastructure that the WEF for the New World Order want, that we all rallied against, remember? Remember we all rallied against all this shit through COVID? Epic Park rallies. But because of Trump and Elon, that's all right. No, you even know it's a psyop, but you can't admit that it's a psyop against you people. Zuckerberg and fucking Bill Gates having dinner at the White House just recently. Pauline Hanson running around over there with them. Going to Thailand with fucking Gina Reinhardt, schmoozing with the billionaires, hanging about with Nigel Farage. Do you think those people are on your side? Do you really? I've got a nut out at Stanley I can sell you pretty cheap. That's an extinct volcano for those who don't know. A dormant one. Oh, I could sell you. What do you want to buy? I'll show you Devonport Bridge. Fools. I don't like calling you fools, but hey, what else am I going to call you? Don't be a Sid the Sloth out of Ice Age. The problem is that you think you know. I only know a 15th of things. A bee's dick. A pimple on a chick's ass. But I have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a discerning mind to connect those with my critical thought, and morals to know what's right and wrong. I don't care about your legal, illegal bullshit. Just stick that right up your ass. That's just another control mechanism, just like the internet. Here you are, all fighting to keep your fucking slave. You're slaves to the internet. Keeps you connected, does it? How well do you know your kids? How well do you know your kids? How well do you know your spouse? What are they doing on the phone in the bathroom? Why do you need a phone in the bathroom? Why are you having a bath? Why? Nothing good. You all think everybody else is stupid, but you're stupid if you think that. I think you're fools. I think a lot of you are stupid. Dumber than a box of rocks. And that's coming from someone who's almost as dumb as a box of rocks. I'm no super smart bastard. I actually don't feel comfortable doing this. But have you noticed since COVID, everyone's regurgitating what everyone else is saying on here and grumble. But they think they're a fucking genius, as if they're the first ones to ever fucking think of it. They're just regurgitating what each other's saying, talking into an echo chamber. Got all this digital ID shit coming up, and you're going to have to use it to access certain things on the internet. And everyone's fighting to keep their internet. They don't want digital ID, but they want the internet. But some people are going to jump at digital ID to the point they've got an RFID chip in their fucking hand. And those who shall not take the mark of the beast will not be able to buy, sell or trade. Wake up to yourselves. Don't do religion either. Religion's just another control mechanism that was concocted by the Roman Catholic Church. We're told not to have material, the love of material things and earthly possessions. Let's see, what's the Roman Catholic Church known for? Shitloads of gold, silk clothing, money. Hey, what does the Bible say? Anyone who should hurt one of God's children would be better to have a millstone placed around their neck and cast into the sea. What's the Roman Catholic Church known for? Diddling with kids, God's children. What's the third thing that you're obsessed with? The Pope. Maybe then God comes forth, does he? This got to come forth. All this has been decades in the planning, in the making. You see, you just don't grasp the concept of keeping control of things for future generations of your own bloodline. You just don't grasp that. You're never going to. I grasp that because I see it. For an example, let's start it right near the top of the ladder. Not at the top, near the top of the ladder. Because I think you'd have to put Satan at the top of the ladder of this pyramid scheme. Rothschilds. The name Rothschild comes from Ra's child, the children of Ra. They believe that they're the blood descendants of Ra, the child of Ra, the son of Ra, who was half God, half human. Nephilim, anybody? The half-breeds of the earthly women and the fallen angels. That's what they believe. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. That's what they believe. That's why they put themselves at the top of the food chain, serving not a God with a little g. Greed. Lust. Immortality. I think it's Evelyn de Rothschild had 5 hearts. 5 heart surgeries, 5 heart transplants. How many people do you know have even got to have one before they died? If that bastard could have 5, where'd they come from? The Falun Gong, whatever it's called, Falun Gong. You know, the Uyghurs. All compartmentalised little projects all over the world. Through our federal governments, down to our state parliaments, through our so-called local governments. Why do you think they were so insistent, even though we voted no twice to the Local Government Act, they still installed it anyway through the state parliaments? Your council I'm talking about. Because they're the only places where they could get people dumb enough to not see the big picture, to implement the technology required to put us all into a digital fucking prison. I'm sorry, Burnie Council, all your councillors. You're either dumb as a box, dumber than a fucking dead fish, or maybe you're a globalist from another country, Ken. What are we doing with people from other countries in our councils? And people are so disengaged with what's going on, they don't even know who's on council. They've got no idea. Then they let useful idiots into council that think they're actually doing things for the people. No, they're just there to create arguments. Useful idiots. You know that Teeny Brumby's in Austin, right? You know the Austins are Freemasons, right? They'll tell you they were born again, but born again what? See, to become a Mason, you have to be born again. At some point, you're going to notice the walls closing in around you. I saw them when I was a kid. I've seen them miles off. Because I had my eyes open. I was never red-pilled. I'm no-pilled. Red pill is just another control mechanism. What do you think did mongers like Guru and Bosie and Leibold and Communist Jono and Kaz and all these clowns go on about being red-pilled? Been red pilling people all day. I mean, putting them in the other control mechanism that ends in the same destination, have you? The one that gets people marching around in their lounge rooms thinking they're doing something good while they're fucking fleecing their own bank accounts to give to Project Matilda. Keeping themselves poor, doing nothing. Hurry up and do nothing. Stand up and go nowhere. This is why I get so fucking frustrated with you all. All you people that think you know shit will not take on any information or research it. You just listen to your favourite talking fucking head. The red pill talking head. People that wore t-shirts with holes all through them and shit and all of a sudden have a motorhome set up as a mobile fucking YouTube platform. Self-managed superannuation is still in somebody else's hands, isn't it? Have you thought about that? Self-managed superannuation doesn't put it in your hands. You can't just claim it whenever you want. Congratulations, you just made Kaz a hell of a lot of fucking money. Whatever her name is. They're using your money to enrich themselves. They're getting money from two directions. You and the people that have put them in place to lead you by the nose. Sounding a bit sci-fi dystopian, isn't it? I wish. There are technologies about that have been about for the last 50, 60, 80, 100 years. How much technology do you think was saved and hidden from Tartaria? From the Tartarian civilization? Technology that far surpasses anything that we've seen. Coming from a Christian, that's blasphemy. No, it's not. I don't follow religion. Every Sunday, tomorrow's Sunday, every Sunday that you go to church, you're given your little update programming to make sure you stay in within the confines of what that little prick at the front of the church tells you. Sorry, I shouldn't call that the church. The front of the building, towards the back wall of the building, behind his little pulpit. He's a weasel. Not a man of Christ. So while all this technology shit's going on, and we've got all this immigration arguments and fights going on to create chaos. Now, you know that's the plan, don't you? Chaos. Absolute chaos. Maxwell Smart used to go on about the agents of chaos, didn't he? Oh, wow. Great thinking, 99. Out of all that, and we're all going to rallies and so forth, thinking that that's going to convince the government to change things. No, it's not. It's just keeping you busy. Anything that you put on here, like I am now, you can choose to watch it or choose not to. Any email you send, they can choose to read it or delete it. They don't give a shit. You think this is freedom of speech? It's not. I'm freely speaking. The freedom of speech requires somebody to hear it, whether they like it or not, without censorship. There's only one way you can accomplish that. in person. You have to get in their face and say it. Then they have to hear it, like it or not. Sometimes we need to hear what we don't want to be told. Yeah, that's a bit of common sense parenting, isn't it? Sometimes we need to hear what we don't want to be told. Too bad, you're going to hear it anyway. Because I'm here now in your face. This is what we need to be doing. This is what we should be doing. Unfortunately, at the moment, like I've been saying, I have to take a little bit of a break. I burnt myself. Pretty damn good. Both legs. Cooking oil. Hoo-hoo. That happened just the other night. We all have accidents. Now and then we all make a poor decision. Making a poor decision that only affects yourself, that's your problem. I do that. That's my problem. But choosing to not make a decision that affects everybody else, that's weak as piss. That's weak. It's weak of character. Choosing to not engage is weak of character. You can make every excuse up under the sun as to why you won't go and engage. At the end of the day, it's just because you're weak. You don't stand for anything other than yourself. And even then, that's debatable. You just keep going to them jobs and paying your taxes and paying for the prison that they're building for you. How many sleeper cells have we got in the country? All the marching and rallying and protesting in the world hasn't done a fucking thing yet, has it? It's not going to. It keeps you busy. Keeps them... keeps giving them material to pretend to argue about at Parliament, which keeps giving the media material to keep talking about on here and on mainstream. Here's now mainstream. It's mainstream alternative. It's the captured alternative media. They've been captured. Either with brown paper bags or with their fingers in something they shouldn't have been in. Or on, or up. A lot of people are obsessed with their public image. That's why they won't get on here without a suit. They won't get on here with crazy bedhead. Yeah, it's a bit hard to have a shower at the moment. I probably stink like a polecat, but I can't get that wet. They reckon I might need plastic surgery. You say, look at this head. Think I'm worried about a few scars on my legs? It's what it is. I'm not that naive. I'm not that vain. I don't have vanity issues. I am the way I was intended to be. What's saddest about all this? You just won't even stand up for the children that you selfishly brought into this world. You will go and buy them a car that they're never going to be able to fucking drive. I mean, it's in your face. No more petrol or diesel powered cars to be built after 2030 or something. None to be sold after 2035. Everything's becoming electric. What's the point in buying your kids a car if you can't put fuel in it? Because you can't buy the fuel for it. What do you think Donald Trump's war on drugs with Venezuela is actually about drugs? It's about the high sulphur content diesel that they've got there, which is what their naval ships run on. Perhaps electric naval ships don't work, so they want the last of all the the diesel in the world, the oil in the world to make their diesel, to keep the world in control. Why do they get to be boss of the world? Why have they got over 200 naval vessels, military bases all over the world? They've got like 3 here in Australia. Why? What have they ever done for us? Nothing. Not a damn thing. America has never came to our rescue. We've come to theirs. As a war ally, wartime ally. We get drafted into their fucking wars. Once you've got digital ID, try and escape that. Try and be a draft dodger. They'll come and find you in the middle of the fucking bush because it won't be in your phone. You're probably already carrying it. Something funny happened during COVID. Like I was saying before, everyone thinks that they're onto something brand new and they're just regurgitating what everybody else is saying. It's the same fucking shit over and over and over. You try and hold a constructive conversation about something new or something nuanced with these people. They're about as full as that cup. You can't have a conversation with them. That's our zombie apocalypse. They have this real narrow trait of thought. They can't think outside of the box. They're stuck in the box. They're trapped. Prisoners in their own mind. And they only know what somebody else told them, thinking that they come up with that themselves. They're vague. They're brain fog. Everyone just walks around staring at their fucking rectangle the Babylonian rectangle of doom. The existentialist crisis rectangle. Thanks, Bear, for that one. Very independent. Check him out. Well, they say, how many sleeper cells have we got in Australia? There's thousands of insurgents in America, apparently. 200 known sleeper cells. Over 200. Known. So who knows how many unknown? How many we got here in Australia? We're infidels. Christians. Those who should be beheaded, according to them. Do you think that I totally agree with Bear Independent. I totally agree with what he was saying on his last show, one he done during our middle of the night. They have highly trained operatives all over the world. They're not going to... highly trained. And their idea of war, of military manoeuvres, it ain't like us. They're not just going to come in and shoot you. They're going to take you hostage. They're going to make demands, and they're going to start raping people. They'll start raping your wives and your children in front of you, and they'll keep making demands until they get what they want. And then, if you're lucky, they'll kill you. That's how they operate. You've seen it a million times. That's how they operate. What, do you think just because they're in our country, they're going to abide by our laws? Our law of war? It's not how it goes. All's fair in love and war. There's no such thing as the law of war until after the war. Until after it's been completed. And whoever wins, the victors, they're the ones that get to write the history. They're the ones who get to rewrite the laws of war. I don't think we've got much fucking hope, do you? We don't even have any guns in Australia. What do you think COVID was about? It was just another psyop. You're all tracked, traced and dumbed down now. All of those in uniform, they're just yes people. Following orders. Yes, 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 master. Yes, yes. None of them will say no. Even deep down, their conscience is telling them they're doing the wrong thing. They're still doing it. It's like they can't go against their programming now. With their little graphene oxide antennas inside them. They're all tracked and traced. You know it. Deep down, you know it. But you don't want to admit it. It hurts too much, doesn't it? You don't want to admit to yourself that you was that fucking dumb. Don't be. Because you are. But you don't have to be. That's a choice. You can go against that program, and that's a choice. It'll be painful. No pain, no gain, eh? At some point, very soon, sooner rather than later, you're going to have to figure all this shit out. It's really not that complicated. It's more about admitting it to yourself. Admitting to yourself that what seems to be crazy isn't really that crazy. Technology is far more advanced than what you could ever imagine. Far more. You talk to any, if you can find one that's left, probably not. You talk to old World War II veterans about some of the things they've seen in World War II. We haven't seen it yet. Some of the technology that they've seen, we still haven't seen it yet. Aliens, come on. Just because it's an unidentified flying object doesn't mean it came from fucking space. It just means it's unidentified. And quite often, just because you think you saw something that's from out of this world, how do you know it's not a hologram from Project Bluebeam? They're pretty realistic, aren't they? Who saw the Tupac concert? You know, the one where he'd already been dead for 15, 20 years. Pretty realistic, eh? We're led to believe that that's the extent of it. It's far more advanced than that. What we get, it's 20, 30 years old. Stop asking to have your chains taken off you. Take them off yourself. Turn your back on everything. Stop voting. Stop playing their stupid fucking game. That's what they rely on. They are relying on you to keep playing the game. If you do not pick the dice up and roll it and you stop playing the game, you take their power away, their authority. It's gone. Remember, we are the many. They are the few. But they got all the guns now, don't they? They got all the technology. What have we got? Something along the lines of Albert Einstein said, man will become dumb because of technology and the next war will be fought with sticks and stones against guns. Something like that. Paraphrasing there. He's not far wrong, is he? See, wars aren't between countries. It's between us and they, the big they. To control our numbers, to make sure that we don't take our planet back, our world, our lives, and live freely. Because then they might have to work up a sweat and earn their way. They get everything they want whenever they want it, and they're still not satisfied. They can print their own money, but they're still not satisfied. And use a gun along with that. And that's the way society... No, it's not the way society works. That's their economy. That's their system, their control mechanism. That's not how we're supposed to be living. There was a reason that they killed Jesus, and not because he was the son of God, because he was God in the flesh. In other words, he lived the way we were meant to live. He posed a threat. One man and his 12 disciples posed a threat to the entire establishment. People started to take notice and realise, hey, something's not right here. We haven't been living right. We actually are free. We just have to do it, live it. We were given laws. In Torah, there's 316 of them. Or you can have that pretty well covered by living by the Ten Commandments and the Golden Rule. Live by those, you're laughing. Nobody hurts anybody. Nobody hurts anybody. You see, they even fucked with the Ten Commandments. It never said thou shalt not kill. It said thou shalt not do murder. If someone's going to murder you, do you let them? Or do you defend yourself? And if they die in the process, so be it. You didn't cause it, you didn't ask for it, you didn't start it. All you did was defend yourself, and they died because they were the instigator. Tough. They were the ones who tried to do murder. That's not your problem. This is one of my longer ones, isn't it? There's plenty on that to chew on. I'll drop that one there. You can pick up what I'm putting down or not. But for your sake, it's probably better that you do.